Okay, so we are sponsored tonight. We actually have a sponsor. NorCal Mythos' mission decks are on Kickstarter right now. These decks have over 100 cards of rooms, encounters, monsters, and loot that lets your 5th edition table play cooperatively, leveling up together without needing a DM at all. Mission decks are a great addition to any gaming table. I'm actually looking at backing it. I was reading a lot about it and it looks like it's a lot of fun. You can find more information on their Kickstarter, NorCal Mythos on Twitter, or www.kickstarter.com/projects/Carbine Jungle. That's CARBYNE Jungle /mission-decks DECKS. And it's a 5th edition game that you can play without needing somebody like me to run it through, so you and your friends can just get together and play with it and have some fun. So thank you to NorCal Mythos for sponsoring tonight's episode.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
I super want to buy it now. I'm just on the page.
It looks really cool.
I kind of want this now.
It looks very cool.
They've got 18 days left to go. I'm looking at their Kickstarter right now. They're almost there.
I'm tempted.
And I'm one of those people that when a Kickstarter that I want is right at the edge, I'm like, I could do it by myself, but nah, I don't need to be that much of a hero. But it does look really cool.
We can do it as a team.
You guys should totally check it out if you're interested. But yeah, no, it looks pretty cool. I'm always down for Kickstartering new ideas.
It looks really cool. It looks like they put so much work into it too. You can just tell the detail on the cards. The art really
looks amazing.
Cool.
I'm a sucker for art, and yeah,
very detailed.
Totally. Okay.
No, I just want to keep reading the Kickstarter.
Okay. Goodbye.
No, yeah, you can do that later.
Thanks, folks.
Okay.
Have a good night.
All right, I closed it. I'm good.
You are listening to Just Roll With It. Jonathan is your lore master. Christine plays the channeler Amena Valare. Neil plays the Ogier Quercus, son of Ilex. Aradia plays the channeler Pymer Dothorin Akel. And Fate plays the Child of the Light, Lance Akashi.
Before I get into the recap, everybody leveled up. So everybody's got the hit points and the things. What does Lance get at 3rd level? I don't know what monks get at 3rd level.
Come back to me.
Okay, that's fair. So you magic users, 3rd level, you get 2nd level spells. Woohoo!
Yay!
It's slightly less squishy.
Slightly less squishy. I was looking at Amena's character sheet today. She now can actually handle a decent single hit from something without immediately folding.
Oh my god, I have 22 hit points now.
Oh, really? Me too. That's what I leveled. That's what I got up to.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Bump.
Yeah. Right. Does my camera up here?
So, what did y'all pick for your 2nd level spells, or do you not want me to know yet? That's also a thing that you can do if you want to be mean and horrible people.
I mean,
well, I'm not mean and horrible. Pymer's mean and horrible, but heat metal and invisibility for me.
nice.
That's really on brand, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of heated metal already once, but maybe that was just my stretching,
You were almost there, and then you're like, oh, I can remember that weave now, and I can do that again with more control. Perfect.
Precisely.
Nice.
See the story.
I went with blindness and deafness and continual flame.
Also handy, because dark spaces. And, it never hurts to make somebody blind or deaf.
No, well, I can use my air weaves some more and, stop someone's ears or whatever.
Totally.
Blind them. Yeah, plus things that just randomly are on fire without actually being on fire are pretty freaky, so that'd be a good way to psych someone out.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Also on brand.
Yes. Because in real life, I would totally do that.
No, really?
Oh, yeah.
I would not have pictured that.
It's a shock.
I'm definitely nodding for the audio audience.
Such a shock.
I know, it's totally. All right, so Quercus, you're having a moment of indecision. How can we help?
Having a moment of indecision. I'm trying to work out whether my hit points increase or not.
Always.
They always increase.
Always increase. Okay, where do I find that out? From my 5th edition book here.
Go to your class, and it'll be right with your class.
Yeah, I'm on my class.
Okay, so go to the very first page of your class.
It says class features, hit points. hit dice 1d10 per ranger level. Oh, I get it. Okay, so I roll another dice.
It'll say hit points at higher level, and that tells you can either roll, or in the parentheses there is a set number. You can one or the other.
Oh.
But if you want to roll, it's if your hit die is a d10, you'll roll 1d10 and add your Constitution modifier.
I might just go for the low risk strategy and do +6 plus my Constitution modifier and add that on. So that's 9. When we do this, my maximum hit points was 21, but I had temporary hit points of 9 because I'd taken some damage. So what happens when we level up?
So, because I'm benevolent and generous and to be applauded, whenever you guys level up, it wipes away the damage. So you're gonna add the new whatever you just rolled. So you've got 9.
Yep.
So add that to your previous total, and then that's where you're starting. We're basically like, it's like leveling up in a video game. There's shiny lights and flashes, and then you feel stronger all of a sudden.
Okay.
I mean, you guys did just kill a bunch of giant spiders.
Did I say that you were the best DM ever in the history of Dungeons and Dragons?
No, but flattery will get you whatever you want. So
that might happen. Okay, so my main uncertainty now is I have a choice of my, how are they called, abilities or spells, something that I can do anyway. It says, features, that's what they're called. It says I can go down a route of being a hunter or a beastmaster. These are 2 ranger archetypes, and the beastmaster seems to give me a furry or feathered companion.
Well, I know what Amena is now gonna vote for.
But fox, clearly. I was thinking maybe I could have a little sapling to walk around with me, just a little oak sapling.
That's cool.
A walking
We
tree.
can stamp on people. Have you seen Lord of the Rings?
I mean,
We've even read them.
I am Groot.
Yeah, or
also that.
The hunter archetype looks quite good as well. From level 3, I could either gain Colossus Slayer, which gives me an extra 1d8 damage when I attack someone, or a giant killer, or a horde breaker. So basically, I was hoping for people's input on whether they wanted me to have some interesting abilities to do more damage, or to have another companion that I can order around.
I think you know Ogier way better than we
I
do.
think you should have an Irish wolfhound.
What would the Ogier do?
also true.
Giant dog.
Not sure that's exactly what Loyal would have done.
A wolfhound, perhaps?
Yeah. You could throw things over them like saddlebags. You could carry all your samples. Just, think about it.
Very useful.
Yeah.
On the other hand, they do take a long time to think about anything and come to a decision. So by the time they've come to a decision, this little furry thing could have scarpered.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, Neil.
If I go down the beast route, I get a beast that's no larger than medium. That doesn't tell me a great deal.
But is that medium compared to an ogier or compared to...
It's a good question.
Medium is in comparison to the mechanical definition of medium, which is most creatures.
Most creatures, okay.
Yeah.
That seems elitist.
I think you'd have to get up to like bear to be a large kind of thing.
Right.
You have a pet bear,
Ooh.
but now you're being denied by the rules.
That bear that we
That's
saved,
ridiculous.
that could be your pet.
It's Chadley.
Yes.
Chadley could be the pet bear.
Could I have a pet Wolverine? They're extremely vicious.
Wolverine.
Yeah, I don't know if it would qualify.
A pet honey badger?
Ooh, a pet honey badger.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, that's my Patronus. We discussed this.
We did discuss this.
They will always
Yes.
get us out of wherever we are.
Because honey badger doesn't...
Don't care?
Yeah,
No.
Honey badger don't
No.
care.
I mean, Quercus was discovering how much fun it is to like bludgeon creatures to death. So being a hunter is,
It's slightly more consistent
appropriate.
with his character.
Yeah.
I might do that just because it seems less hassle to have to think about ordering someone else around as well as me. And I know that certain creatures in other JRWI adventures have been misnamed by other characters, and I don't want that to happen to what would have a Wolverine. I wouldn't want.
We don't have a rider. There's not going to be a tiger situation.
Okay.
Although technically I think tigers are medium, so, there's the thing.
I mean,
Oh, they are.
Lord Ryder isn't in this campaign, sir.
Oh, Lord.
Lord Rider?
Okay, so are we going down the route of being a hunter? Does anyone on Discord have an opinion on this?
Discord's been eerily silent.
Oh.
What's the matter with you, Discord?
They've probably gone to sleep. It's late.
Would you like the list of medium monsters?
Go on then, yes.
The Pink Cloak wants a hunter.
I will read you everything from the medium category down that they have as examples in the monster manual.
Okay.
Wolf, panther, giant crab, giant badger, deer, boar, black bear, ape, giant centipede, eagle, bloodhawk, baboon, raven, rat, poisonous snake, owl, hawk, flying snake, crab, cat, bat, or badger. And anybody who gets the poisonous snake reference is a true 80s, 90s nerd. That is a King's Quest V reference straight out of Sierra, yo.
I'm interested by this flying snake. That seems quite unusual.
Poisonous snake, sorry.
Oh, there's no flying snake. I thought you read
There's
that
no flying snake.
Okay.
That's
You could eat it. Then it would be flying.
train them to just like crawl into a slingshot or something.
Yeah.
Just constantly fling it.
For anyone who's a Star Wars nerd, in the very distant future, in the books, the good books, there was a race that had things that were snakes that could coil. They were weapons and stone, but they were really snakes, but they just softened up so you could throw them. Anyway, that's an aside.
Wow.
And by good books, you mean the non-Disney canon extended universe books.
I have no problem with Disney doing
boy.
whatever they want. What I do have a problem with is them denying people access to the universe that was there originally. They can do whatever they want and screw around with the new stuff. It's just... Anyway, let's move topic.
I have touched a nerve. I am backing away.
Let's move topic before I explode.
Yeah.
I think I will go, for fun, I will go with an eagle. Ooh. A golden eagle. Because I think that could be quite useful, and they're also quite independent-minded, so they don't need so much micromanagement.
What is up with our group and birds?
It's sort of in the name. Like, I feel like we adhere well to... We stay on brand, is what we do. We're good brand managers. We are brand ambassadors.
We are.
We like the small woodland creatures and the birds.
Yep.
This is a very large woodland creature.
Yeah. Can we ride
It's not
it?
really a woodland creature.
How big is the seagull?
It's not that big.
How big?
A standard golden eagle sized, not a Lord of the Rings. I've been around since the beginning of time. Golden eagle sized.
Listen, I was just wondering.
Fair question. I mean,
Golden eagle, I think they have a wingspan of about 2 meters.
In American,
If they're fully
how
grown.
large is their wingspan?
the exhaust port is only 2 meters wide. It's about 6 feet ish.
Yeah, just about 6 feet.
Wow, that's pretty
They
big.
are very elegant birds as well. Very nice. Not quite as nice as a swallowtail kite, but you didn't lift off a swallowtail kite. So, besides, they can be very argumentative.
That is something I would pay for that. I would pay for that just to watch Quercus argue with a.
Swallowtail kite. That'd
Yeah.
be useful.
Very sassy kite.
Hey, I think there's way more room for sassy creatures in this quest.
Anyway, for the convenient recap,
Well, do we want to know what Lance got now that I'm all done writing stuff?
Now he's ready.
Does it pale into significance?
Sorry, Lance.
yes, please.
So with the training, I have the ability to deflect small arrows and crossbow bolts. Apparently, I can't deflect bullets, and I can hit hard enough to knock people down, shove them away, or make them not be able to hit us back. That's about it.
That's a bunch of handy shit.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it again? I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
I can keep you safe, or I can keep you safe.
Okay, I like both of those options. Thanks.
The band's back together.
Yeah.
Technical problems. Amena's not listening to Lance. I'm embarrassing myself. It's like it was yesterday.
Missed you guys.
Okay, so for the recap, you were in town. You were in Del Sharandu for the Festival of Lights. You were sort of enjoying yourself, and then the coming of age ceremony happened. And right as the ceremony was sort of coming to its end and the Hadori were being passed out, you heard the cries of an older woman as she was apparently looking for her child. The group, the townsfolk sort of split off, going to look for said child. You guys went along and managed to find where you thought she was in a small cleft of rock just to the east of town. Lance basically spelunked, although spelunking is down. I don't know if you can spelunk sideways. I don't know how that works.
I'm pretty sure you can spelunk anyways, as long as you're in a cave.
I'm nodding.
Sure, sounds like that works for me. And there were creatures that had been affected adversely by the blight. I will refrain from saying the name of them. And I just listened to the episode. The scorn is very real. It's very recent, and I believe somebody told me he hated me with a fucking.
I believe that was.
That's an exact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were defeated after some badassery from both Quercus and Lance.
Those badassery.
Yeah.
Pimer is down and unconscious, but stable. And there is a potentially child-sized bundle of spider silk in the corner of the chamber where everything just sort of happened.
So I think we should go unwrap this child-sized bundle and see what's inside.
I'm going to continue stabbing the spider in front of me.
Okay. It's very dead, but you
Yeah.
can continue to stand for it as long as you want. It's definitely in pieces.
Churning butter.
Right.
I guess if no one else is going to do stuff, I'm done killing a spider, and I'll go over to this
I'm unconscious. What am I going to do?
We're waiting for you to calm down.
child-sized bundle and pull out my dagger and cut into it, trying to not stab the potential little child.
Please be careful.
Give me
No.
an athletics check to daintily
Athletics?
slide the blade.
Not dexterity?
Why not sleight of hands?
Yeah, actually, you know what? That is much better. Sleight of hand. Give me a sleight of hand check. We'll see how daintily you're able to use your knife.
7?
All right. Listen, you're clearly still pretty shaken up by this whole experience. So I'm going to very gently, sort of move you over to the side. I'm going to take out my dagger, and I'm going to try to get this kid out.
Okay, roll me a sleight of hand.
Okay, so I rolled an 8.
Between the two of you, you are able to cut into the silk. You think you're doing it pretty well. Pry it back, and inside this bundle is a small, she looks to be about 9 years old, dark-haired young girl with a pair of braids. Her eyes are closed, and she's just kind of laying there and just breathing slowly. Her skin does appear to be slightly yellow, and she's dressed in homespun woolens.
Oh no. Is she still breathing? Can we check to see?
Go ahead and give me a medicine check.
I don't like this at all. 5. What? Why is my dice bot broken? What is happening?
Because you left it alone for a month.
Sorry, dice bot.
It's rusty. Just roll off a couple just to see. She is breathing. You can tell that much.
Okay.
It sounds labored, but she is indeed breathing.
Does anyone have any herbs or anything that could maybe bring her out of the state that she's in, Quercus? Do you have anything in your little
I
bundle?
was just looking in my explorer's pack.
Can you just... Oh, do you not... We don't know healing yet. We're not sufficiently
Ooh, did I
trained.
not take some of those berries at some point? I'm sure I had... One of my spells was some little...
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I tried to give it to people to use them. I think I might have used them all.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember using them at all.
I think I know you had talked about using them with the bear.
Yeah, I think I gave them out on the bear and on Pimer and on me, and I have a feeling I used them all. In any case, it was more of a... I can't actually find it in my spell kit. This might be a situation where my diary isn't quite as complete as it should be. Where are they?
Well, past Persephone is saying that you used 3, according to our loyal fan base.
And I had
so
6, I believe.
And what do the berries do again? Remind me.
They increased hit points. Does an NPC have hit points? Is that a
Yes.
thing that they do?
Everyone has hit points.
Okay.
I have little stat blocks for everybody. Yeah.
That's how murder hobos happen. We start murder hoboing.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. I appear to have forgotten what the spell is actually called.
Was it good berry?
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Up to 10 berries appear in your hand or infused with magic. The berries lose their potency if they have not been consumed within 24 hours.
Oh.
then just run it. Do it again, right? You can just do that in your hand, like a poof.
Am I allowed to do that?
Well, I'm double checking something.
Yeah, I only have you using 2 berries on the bear.
They are a first level spell, so if you have a first level slot, you could do it again. We'll just say you have more in your pack.
You could just slap the child awake.
No, we may not. No, but we could maybe like just sort of gently stroke her cheek and talk to her and bring her out of it gently, kindly, motherly.
So I'm trying to understand the spell slots, and the idea of spells is one of the reasons I chose a non-magical. I thought I'd chosen a non-magical race.
Rangers get their own sort of stuff, but they're less than, say, the channelers.
Right. It's a little bit confusing. Spell slots.
Easiest way to think of spell slots is think of them as batteries, and every time you use a spell or an ability, it takes one of your batteries. You can use bigger batteries to power smaller things, but you can't use smaller batteries to power bigger things.
Right. Okay. And as far as I'm aware, I didn't choose any other spells since that point.
Rangers don't yet, I don't think, unless the other tinkering has been done.
Right. So I shouldn't have used that or used up all my spell slots, should I then? If that's in them.
You should have one more unless you cast that and then we've had a short rest and then you'd have both of them back. But either way, if you've only casted one, you still have one more.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was thinking it was one spell slot per spell type rather than the other way around. Okay. Yeah. In that case, I don't mind casting it again.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I'll do that.
you use your ability and you're able to acquire these berries. It's 10 berries.
Right.
And they have to be used within 24 hours.
Okay. So, Amena, do you want to give a couple of these berries to the child?
Yeah, I think I'd like to do that just to see if that helps bring her out of it. So I just sort of very gently take one of the berries and kind of soften it a little bit in fingers and then kind of rub it on the outside of her lips a little bit.
Pimer's also unconscious. Just saying.
I will get to Pimer later. First,
I feel so loved.
I will rescue this little child.
I'm going to go over to Pimer then. I'm going to go over to Pimer and be like, I could get my money back right now. Reach out, grab some of my bandages and start. Okay. I don't have any healing potions or anything, healing weaves or anything along those lines. I just have bandages.
So how many berries are you feeding the kid?
Well, I'm going to start with the one and just kind of, I don't want to start just like shoving things in the mouth of an unconscious child.
I mean, that's probably best. I feel like that's something they teach you in like basic medical school.
Or just like, basic common sense.
Right.
Seems like a bad idea. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of try to get a little bit of this berry juice in her mouth and see if that rouses her a little bit and then go from there. So should I roll something?
Okay. No. So if you kind of soften them up and you squeeze them into her, maybe just, squeeze them over her mouth or whatever and just try and get as much of the juice in the back of her throat. And you can see that she does swallow. And after a moment, her eyes kind of flutter open and she looks at you, but she's kind of got she's coming to, essentially. What happened?
Well, I think maybe you wandered off a little bit and you found this cave. Do you remember coming into the cave?
Yeah, I was the flower. And she kind of yawns and she's like, I'm really tired.
Yeah, I know you're tired, but I need you to sit up and we need to go find your mom because she's really worried about you. You've been gone for a while.
Okay. And she just kind of like reaches her arms out and gloms onto you.
Which I'm totally fine with because she's adorable. And I feel really good about the fact that she is not dead and eaten by spiders. So we just kind of start heading back now and, get her back to her mom, who must be out of her mind with worry.
I'll just nudge Lance in the ribs and say, if I were you, I would stay out of her viewpoint since you're covered in spider ichor and you don't look particularly appetizing. She might have a fright.
Okay, so let's figure out what to do. Lance, can you give me a medicine check on Pimer there?
20.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
You're able to bandage him up pretty well, but medicine checks, bandaging, still doesn't bring somebody to consciousness. So, Pimer, I need you to roll a d4.
Okay. I can do that. 3.
Okay. So, mechanically what this means is Pimer will come to consciousness with 1 hit point in 3 hours if left to natural healing methods.
Lovely.
Wow.
Unless there's some sort of healing, magical or otherwise, applied. Medicine checks are basically to make sure that a person is stable, but doesn't allow them to use hit dice, and it doesn't give them hit points. You come to consciousness when you get 1 hit point.
So after playing Lord of the Rings campaign, I need to fix healing for non-casters. That's something I got to figure out how to balance.
Okay, fair enough.
Can we give her a berry?
Yes, you can either give Pimer a berry, or you can go see if Kiera's around, or whatever the case is. But the berry is absolutely an
Let's
option.
try the berry. I don't really want to have to go tell Kiara what we've been up to if we don't have to.
And I have many of them, and they need to be used within the next 24 hours.
Okay, so however many berries you give Pimer comes back with that many hit points. Pimer, for all intents and purposes, you are awake with, say, 3 hit points. However, you are still poisoned, which means that you have disadvantage on all attack rolls and ability checks until the poison is taken care of.
Okay, that's weak, but I think I'm gonna hurl.
What's the threshold for removing the poison effect?
It would have to be either like a draft of some kind or some sort of magical healing.
Okay.
I just live out the rest of my days poisoned. It's fine.
It does eventually fade away, but it takes a while.
Right, well, if I give you 5 of my berries, and then I have a little reserve left in case we encounter any trouble.
That'd be great. Thanks, man. God, I feel like crap. Is the kid okay? Did we find the kid? Was that a thing? Did that happen?
Yes, we found her.
All
Now
right.
we're going to take her back to her mom. Maybe you should hydrate a little too.
Yeah, that actually sounds like a really good idea.
Get some of those toxins out of your system.
Yeah, spider poison leaves as a taste. It's kind of not great.
Yeah, and just to clarify, beer does not count toward hydration. I'm thinking clear, clean water would be a good choice.
Okay, fine. Let's just get out of this cave. It smells like spiders. Like burnt and frozen spiders. What did you do to these spiders, Amena?
I set them on fire and I froze them, obviously.
Nice work.
you.
I like the one too.
Thanks. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks. I was scared, like, a lot. But, we're all alive, and the Ogier here is a total badass. Lance just went crazy, stabbing spiders and stuff, so...
It was really more Lance than me, Pimer.
Can you blame me?
No. I can't.
Oh, man. Well, you guys all did better than me, so thanks for saving my bacon, I guess.
You're welcome.
Let's get out of here.
Okay.
All right, so you exit the cave, and several people see you leaving the cave with her on your shoulder, kind of clutching her, and you slowly gather a crowd as all the other searchers are called in, and by the time you arrive back in the center of town, you've got most of the rest of the search party kind of just following around you, and Sarissa's like, "Oh, my baby!" And she kind of runs up and tries to take her from you, and just kind of sits there for a second. And as you're looking at, and everyone's kind of, there's the crowd claps, and then from behind the group, you hear, "So I see you were into something very exciting."
Shit.
Oh, man.
Why is she always everywhere? She's worse than my mother.
Seriously, she's worse than my mother, too. Kira, Di, we were just, servant of all-ing.
What? We were what?
Yeah, servant of all-ing. We're being
What does that mean?
we were helping.
I think your brain is addled from this
community.
spider poison.
Wait, what was that about not drinking beer?
As you say this, she kind of walks up to you, and she tilts your head up more, because, you're taller than she is. And she kind of looks at you, and then she seizes your jaw with her hand. And she says, "Hold still, child." And you watch as the power flares up in her. She gets the aura. And you both watch as small little trickles of the power just start weaving into something and then settle into you. And she's kind of concentrating, and then she stops for a second, and the power kind of flares out. And she says, "You are poisoned, child. What happened?"
spiders. Giant spiders, mind you.
That makes it somewhat less, all right, I'll accept that. Now, hold still again. And as you watch, the aura flares up again, and you watch spirit, and then you watch water, and you watch air, and you're kind of amazed at how quickly the knots are just being tied into you, and the weave just kind of settles into you, and it feels like you just got dunked in ice-cold water all over your body. And the poison is gone, and you're back up to full hit points.
Thank you. Thank you. That was... Seriously, I would have stepped on them if they were that kind of spiders. They were not that kind of spiders.
Let me see the child. Perhaps I can help get as well. And Sarissa kind of gently presents her, and once again, the power flares up and the healing settles into her, and you visibly watch that it was almost like a jaundice yellow that she had, and you basically instantly watch as the color kind of floods back into her cheeks, and she kind of gets all wide for a second, and then she goes... I'm really hungry.
I second that.
And Sarissa kind of, yes, dear, thank you so much. I'm gonna take her home now, but thank you. And she'll kind of wander off. Why doesn't everybody give me a perception check?
21.
5.
I got 14.
Okay. So Lance, for sure, as you're watching this whole event play out, you see Bannerman Gevren and Townmaster Harbin kind of talking to each other and looking at the group and like glancing over and then talking to each other and then talking to, like, they're in some conversation, and based off that perception check, you're pretty sure it has to do with the group, but you're not close enough to hear anything.
Well, I'm going to walk over to him because I need to give my report on what happened. And, you know, if those spiders are there in that giant house, maybe the Children of the Light need to go figure out what else is in there.
Fair enough. So you walk over?
Yep.
Okay. And as you approach, Gevren kind of motions to Harbin and kind of stands up and, yes, Child Akashi, what do you have to report?
We found the girl. There's giant spiders over in that building. Why are there giant spiders in the building? What happened there?
As far as I know, that's just the ruins of a manor house that we've never properly cleaned out. That should be something that gets put on the list, actually.
Well, yes, because these spiders were about half the height of me, with claws as big as my arms, this close to my face.
I can understand your apprehension. We will make sure that it gets on the list and gets taken care of. But I have, well, Townmaster Harbin and I have been discussing, and if you wouldn't mind gathering those that helped you out, we would like to make an announcement.
I will be right back. And then I'm going to walk over to our group and be like, Amina, Pimer, come here. Hey, Quercus, come here.
Why is he from New York all of a sudden? Hey, Quercus, get over here.
Nothing.
What, Lance? What is it? I'm like swishing my mouth out with water and just like, yeah, what?
Somehow you've acquired like a bun or some kind of food, like someone's just kind of shoved food in your hand.
Yes, this is good.
We're wanted over there so they can say thank you to us as a group. They won't say thank you to just me. It's got to be the entire group.
Oh dear. Okay. I don't know if I like this much attention, but okay.
So I'm going to lead them back over.
I'm going to slouch at the back of the group and try to hide behind Quercus. Because he's actually taller than me.
I'm just gonna like twirl my hair and think about stuff.
Preen.
Daydream.
And as you kind of, he's like, no, stand there, thank you. And remember, this was the Festival of Light, so Gevren's like standing there in like his dress uniform, and Townmaster Harbin's in his good clothes, and Harbin kind of starts walking around pontificating, people of Del Sharandu, we have much to thank this group of people for. So I think that, yes, I, your town master, think that it would be a perfect opportunity to thank them by declaring them the heroes of Del Sharandu. And everyone's just kind of like, ooh. And Bannerman Gevren kind of steps forward, and he doesn't say much, but he steps in front of Lance, and he just hits you in the chest. And when you look down, there's a single gold braid on your chest, and he says, congratulations, Sergeant Akashi, and congratulations, heroes of Del Sharandu. And everyone
Shit.
claps again.
Oh, man. man.
Well, that's cool.
Okay.
So I just got
Get
a
off the stage now.
No, I love this because I'm never going to have to buy a drink again.
Covering my eyes, imagining huge platefuls of French fries being foisted upon us. Yup.
God's willing. I mean, light willing. Light willing.
Potatoes.
All of the French fries.
so I'm gonna help Pimer off the stage.
Dude, what the fuck was that?
They gave me a pay raise and more shit to do.
Congratulations or condolences? What do you want?
I don't know yet.
Okay, we can have both then.
Where?
This means that you can buy more of the drinks now, which would be good. But more shit to do? Seriously?
Yeah, like duties and paperwork.
Sergeant Takashi.
Oh, have fun with that.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
snap to attention and turn towards the voice like, man, news gets around so fast.
And it's Bannerman Gevran again, and he's got a smile on his face. And Kiera is standing next to him, and he says, well, we just heard from Kiera Sedai that there looks to be a potential future change in the weather. And she's standing there, she kind of glances up at him. She goes, yes, the reason I came to town in the first place is the weather is going to change very soon. We're in for a bad storm. You are lucky I was here. I was able to heal them, and you really need to be drinking. Amena, you told Pimer water, yes?
Oh,
no alcohol.
Kiera Sedai. I absolutely.
You were always my favorite child. Okay, so I told this to the bannerman, and he has a task for you. I am going to say it is with my blessing. I am going to away now and enjoy the festival, and you are going to get to work. So do have fun.
Have a wonderful time, and then I'm gonna turn to the bannerman and just smile. And you can just look at the face and just see that shattered, there goes my whole party night.
You've been called into work on New Year's Eve at like 10:30.
Lance, this is your fault.
I'm gonna kind of look over at Pimer and be like, I'll get you a drink later. What can I do, sir?
Right. So, as you know, we maintain supply wagons to individual way stations throughout the area. And with Kiera Sedai's notice that the weather will be changing for the worse soon, the most recent shipment, which was packed and ready to go tomorrow, will instead be going tonight. And you, the brand new heroes of Del Sharandu, will be taking it.
Now, when you say you, I get the two novices and the Ogier to come with me. It's not just like me and more children of the light that I have to take care of.
What better use of heroes of Del Sharandu than to go do something heroic, like guard a wagon of supplies to a way station?
Oh.
And he's like smiling the whole time.
I don't like him.
I know I made you mad, but thank you, sir. I appreciate everything you've done tonight.
And he kind of motions you aside, like, the wagon's just over there, heroes, if you wouldn't mind going over there. I need to have one more word with the sergeant.
Heroes,
Right.
this is some bullshit.
Come on, Pimer. Let's get out of here.
I'm gonna follow to the side.
And he kind of leans in, and he's like stroking his mustache and his little goatee, and he's like,
I'm gonna replicate him even though I'm clean shaven.
the tall one's the one you lost to, right? That's the one you owe money to?
Aren't they both taller than me?
Pimer's exceptional.
Okay.
Yes, technically.
Yes, but I've paid all my debts. It's good-natured fun. He wins some, I win some, we buy drinks.
How much do you still owe me?
I have to get over to this job you just gave me. I will get back to you when we get back. Thank you, sir.
Might be a fine opportunity to dice, is all I wanted to say, because you know. And he'll just walk away. Enjoy your mission, Sergeant.
Thank you, sir. Fuck. And then I'm gonna go back over to the group and check out this job I get to experience with everybody.
So sitting there, sort of just off the main square, is a single wagon drawn by an old horse. It's got a oilskin covered wagon attached to it. Looks to be some sealed up casks and some boxes and just some basic supplies, food and maybe some repair supplies and sort of general goods and sundries.
I'm gonna inspect the wheels and just kind of check over to see, like, is this gonna start off on a bad foot or are we starting off decent?
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
13.
It's a wagon. It's not a brand new wagon, but it's not going to fall apart. The axles are in decent condition. The horse is older, but not lame or anything. The shoes are well put on.
Okay, I'm gonna go back over to Amina and Pimer and Quercus. And so, do you guys have horses that you want to ride? Because this is gonna be a long, long, long journey.
Aren't you?
How long are we talking?
Do we have horses of our own?
Yes. I think you're also taking a leap here. These two novices still have training. And what about my research?
Oh, we're heroes now.
Yeah.
Quercus, that's true. But as we're going, you'll get to experience all the other environments that are around along this way, and you'll get to see how someone you aren't acquainted with interacts with the group.
I'm weighing up in my mind how this competes against birches and alders and things.
I will also go and try and find some potatoes so that I can make you French fries. I will teach you how to make French fries.
Oh, please don't. I will come with you if you just promise not to give me any of those detestable, greasy things.
Oh,
Hey, more for us, Amanda. It's fine.
that's true. More for us.
Okay, mentally, though, I'm just looking forward to the opportunity of sitting down next to Lance and educating him on all of the little things that we pass on the route.
You know, you didn't get done telling me those stories. I'm gonna rub my head like, why am I...
Why are you so friendly?
No, why am I trying to convince him to come with us? And then I'm gonna go over to Amina and Pimer, and so your Aes Sedai said that we have her blessing and you guys are coming with as well. I'm sorry. And then I'm gonna turn around and walk like as quick as I can, small steps really fast.
Honestly, I don't mind.
I don't either.
It's a chance to get out of this, getting out of Kira's freaking shack. That'll be fine.
I'm meeting new people, but I'm just kind of, I mean, can we go back and pack a bag or something? I don't really want to wear the exact same thing for like a week.
I mean, these aren't my broken-in boots, so I'm kind of with you on that one. These are my new boots.
Yeah.
Be nice to get my walking shoes for a trip like
Yeah,
this.
I would totally love my walking shoes too.
Which pair?
Whatever matches my outfit.
Which outfit?
Multiple pairs of shoes because you're going to bring multiple outfits.
Yeah, that opens up a whole new box.
Yeah, and my hairbrush and my mirror and a few other odds and ends.
Yeah, I am not carrying that. I'm not carrying that. You tricked me into that once. This is not happening again.
I mean, that's fine. If you don't want to help me, that's entirely up to you. But I'll just, put it on my horse. It's okay.
Fine.
So as I go around the wagon, knowing that this has all been pre-planned to honor me this way, did they happen to bring my stuff over?
Your go bag?
Yeah.
Travel supplies? Yes, actually they did.
I'm just gonna look at it and be like, yeah, he's such a...
They were ready for you to go, dude.
Yeah, I may have lost one too many wagers to the Bannerman.
My friend, why are you still one of these children? You don't seem to get much enjoyment out of it.
Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. I love being a child of the light and everything they've done for me. I don't like him. And I'm going to point in the direction of the Bannerman. And I'm going out of my way to make sure I'm not using his name and just calling him the Bannerman. Yeah. I don't like him. And apparently he loves me because he's getting me away from him. So...
Your promotion, even.
I know.
Wow.
Right? So, how long will it take for you guys to prepare? Looking at all three. Well, looking at gigantic Quercus, and then Pimer, and then Amina. How can we go in 2 candle marks?
Yeah, it shouldn't take us more than... it's just to hop over to the place, and then it'll take me like 5 minutes to pack. Like, I don't know about Amina, but...
It won't take me that long. It's fine.
Yeah, an hour. It'll be fine. I just want to get my good walking shoes. I'm good to go. It's fine.
And for me, half an hour back to my camp, and then another half hour. First, I need to make sure there's room on this cart of yours for my books.
How many books are we talking?
Oh, only a matter of a dozen or 2.
Are they tomes or are they like small?
Ogre-sized, right?
They are Ogier-sized books.
God.
Okay, so we have 2 prima donnas with way too much luggage on this trip.
So I'm gonna look at Quercus and They have a wonderful library here. What about loaning them your books so that they can learn and then have deeper conversations with you? And you bring like your 2 or 3 that you think I would appreciate hearing about the most.
And I'm just going to give him a very deadpan stare and look around at the place that we find ourselves in and murmur about libraries not quite being their sort of scene.
God, light save me from this. But on the inside, I would never be so rude as to say that out loud.
Her eyes are just batting a little bit faster.
Rolling in the back of my head.
Can you please hurry up? So you're able to go and disperse and take care of what you need to take care of and get your stuff. Change, pack however you want. There is room on the cart for basically for each of you to put a bag so you don't have to carry your stuff. So that'll at least make it a little bit more convenient.
Realistic. I don't carry bags.
And you are basically able to set off whenever you choose.
Okay.
What time of day is it at the moment?
Yeah, so I was
Wait. You said whenever I choose? Is that the words?
Does that mean you're going back to bed?
That is not the exact.
Oh.
I think he meant like the collective you.
Yes.
But it's the night of the party. I'm sure the collective you would still want to stay.
Wait, weren't we being told that we have to leave tonight? Wasn't that a thing?
Yes, because the impending bad weather.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna look around for the cart driver.
There is no driver.
I'm gonna look at Pimer and Amena, and then look back at Pimer. Do you know how? Oh, you have your horse.
Wait, do I have a horse?
Do you have a horse?
Oh yeah, do we have horses?
I don't.
Well,
You don't need one.
But
That's why I don't help.
Amena is a noble. She would probably at least have one horse.
I do.
But I bet a horse could be scrounged for Pimer if he so chose, if he wanted to ride.
You can borrow my casual horse.
Somehow I don't think I would fit.
It's like, are there Clydesdales in the fourth
You just have
age?
a spare Clydesdale.
Yeah, it's the casual.
It's her Monday through Friday horse, obviously.
We're going at the speed of a cart, though. And the cart can carry all of our stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm a poor country boy.
Okay.
I don't think that riding around on a horse when I could just as easily walk for a week is what I would do.
I mean, that's fine, but here's the thing. I don't want to listen to you bitch about your feet hurting because you chose not to borrow my casual horse. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, apparently the cart needs a driver, so I will ride in the cart driving the damn horse. Because apparently I'm probably the only one who knows how to drive a cart horse.
Probably.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's okay. I did it on my farm like all the time. I'm used to getting this chore.
Go, as we're leaving town, I know we have to pass the Children of the Lights camp, so I'm going to grab one of their horses.
Okay. So Pimer's driving the cart. Amena is on her weekend horse.
Or less casual
My
horse.
going out horse.
Formal horse.
And Quercus is walking alongside, and Lance is on his horse.
Do we need supplies or
There are supplies in the wagon, and they would have packed for that. They're not. It's definitely a get you out of town chore, but it's not like we're sending you off to die.
Thank God.
Lovely.
I'm glad that we have that distinction readily at hand.
once in a lifetime chore? That
Just putting your minds at ease.
What is he tricking us for now?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was sitting there like, I got an upgrade, and then I get kicked out, and it would be totally like him not to send me food to take it out of the money I owe him.
You definitely have food.
Yeah.
So you set off. It's early afternoon, so you can get a decent amount of walking time of travel time before nightfall, and you just head off. You're heading. It's going to be about a week and a half to the west. The road it's not paved, but it's well trodden. It's one of the major roads. The forest has been sort of cleared back, and it's generally decent riding weather. Chilly because it's winter, but it's not unbearable.
Where are we going again? Did we get told where we're going? We're just like going west for a week and seeing what happens.
head off into the west.
There's a Child of the Light watch station that needs to be resupplied, and they are pushing the resupply up sooner because Kiara told them that there was going to be a change in the weather, and there's a particularly nasty storm on the way.
Right. Sorry. I think you said all that, but there was something odd happening audio-wise at the time. So, sorry.
No worries.
Okay. All right. So Yeah, I don't know. Are we going to just mercilessly tease Quercus about his lack of wanting to know how to cook potatoes properly?
I think we should do it in small increments, though.
Don't. I'll set Calocedrus on you. He'll dive on you.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're useful, these eagles.
Oh, yeah, so you're going to introduce us to this eagle prop. He's just going to fly down one day.
Yeah, does your eagle have a name?
Yes, Calocedrus.
Calocedrus. It just rolls off the
Calocedrus.
tongue.
It actually kind of does.
Yeah,
Calocedrus.
it's derived from the incense cedar. It's the scientific name for incense cedar. Calocedrus decurrens.
Tell us more about this incense.
Not gonna lie, I totally thought you said, "Can you see this?"
Here, I just assumed it was the Latin word for eagle because I don't know what the Latin word for eagle is. I was just
I
like,
don't
yeah, that's his
either.
name.
Calocedrus. I like it.
For a tree.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's for a tree.
Yep. Anyway, don't go threatening me with bad potatoes or he'll dive on your head.
Okay, well, I don't want that at all. But
Ogier.
yeah, I don't know. What should we do for the trip, guys? How should we entertain
I
ourselves?
think we should find a way to appease this Ogier, first of all, before he, rips our faces off.
I'm piggybacking on the reputation of Ogier as being peaceful until you anger them beyond a point, which is fried potatoes or deep fried potatoes. And after
I
that
didn't realize
tipping
that
point-
was the line.
Yeah,
like
there's
Shadow
a-
Spawn, I'm fine with, but you deep fry my
know,
potatoes,
like-
there will
Yeah.
be hell
Yeah.
to pay.
It's one of those ecological threshold responses that
And so I see that change in body language, and I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Yep, bye. I'm gonna go catch
Yeah.
some fish for dinner or something. I'm out of
I'm gonna start making popcorn.
Shut up. You with your fucking
No,
popcorn.
it's totally. We figured it out. It's totally good. Making popcorn. It's my travel rations.
That's your travel ration is popcorn.
Heck yeah.
it's very nutritious.
I like the way you think. So
You're gonna be really hungry. All right, well, Quercus, I happen to have this a little tiny book for you, and I sort of pull out of my things like this big book that's blank inside, and I hand it to you as a gesture of goodwill. Here, this is for you,
And
for the journey.
I'm speechless, which was, I presume, the intent.
It is. It is.
Thank you, Amena. This really is so considerate of you, and I'm instantly
You're welcome.
head down in the book whilst I'm walking, like veering left and right as I cross the path whilst reading at the same time. What is the book, by the way?
Well, it's actually blank. It's there for you to fill in all of your observations on this little journey. Things you like, things you don't like.
That's so thoughtful of
Yeah.
you. Thank you very much.
that's delightful.
It is.
I'm like, Amanda, where did you get that book? It's ogre sized.
I stole it from Kira's and I.
What? High five, girl.
That's what took me so long.
Oh, when you went back for the fifth pair of shoes.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. I had
that
like a
makes
shawl
sense.
and I wrapped it up in the shawl and pretended like it was just a bunch of crap, but it was really just that book.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm very impressed.
So for the first couple of days, nothing happens. It's all good. It's all, you roll up in your bedrolls underneath the wagon at night and continue on during the day at whatever pace you see fit. Still no change in the weather, really. It's become a bit more overcast, but nothing worth mentioning. On about the afternoon of the fourth day, you're starting to get a little irritated with each other. It's been a time.
Sounds about right.
Pimer, would you stop cheating and taking my money?
I'm not cheating. You're just unlucky.
When you have Amina channeling air to roll the dice for you, that's cheating.
Okay, you can't see the flows, so you don't know that she's channeling.
Why else would she be glaring at me?
Does she ever not glare at you?
I don't know. Probably not.
No, you're just unlucky. And Amanda is probably glaring at me as much as at you, honestly. I mean, she keeps insisting that we do our novice exercises like as though it matters. It completely doesn't, but she's completely on my ass about it all the time. So she's honestly probably glaring at me as much as at you, which is why I'm over here gambling with you all day.
Well, I mean, I could start showing her how to really fight instead of using the doos.
I'd like to see you convince her.
I'd like to see that too, and I kind of walk up behind you.
Amanda, hi.
Hi.
No, I'm not. We're not practicing again. We're not.
I'm just gonna look at Pimer like, why didn't you warn me, you jerk? Hi, Amanda. What do you want this time?
Hi, what is it you want to teach me? What was that? You're going to teach me something? Well,
Quercus, what's going on?
Oh, don't get me involved in this. I've just been sitting on the sidelines this whole time taking notes in my new book of all of these interesting human interactions the past 3 or 4 days.
So in those human interactions, what's it say? Like, do you show that Pimer's cheating on me? Because your eyes are way better than mine. Is Pimer not cheating on me? Cheating me. Jeez.
what happened on this trip?
I'm just eventually the mental cogs start to spin, and I get some kind of sense that if I answer this question either way, then I'm in trouble with one. So I'll just look up and say, "Oh, is that a hawthorn or a blackthorn?" and then get distracted.
As he starts to talk about birds, I'm just like, dang it.
They're trees. Hawthorns and blackthorns are quite clearly trees. Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do some target practice because I got these cool bullets and it turns out that they're pretty economical, so I'm just gonna leave all of you.
I cannot believe I just did that.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm gonna climb back in, and as Pimer's doing target practice, not scaring our old docile horse, I'm gonna,
No.
like flick the reins a little bit to pick up the speed to, people can't talk if they're walking more.
Why doesn't everybody give me a perception check?
Oh yeah, who's keeping watch?
Not you guys, apparently.
20.
10.
17.
21.
Freaking natural scientist.
Okay, so everybody but Lance begins to hear distant thunder.
That must be the weather she was talking about.
This is great, though, because actually I've been practicing this airflow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, where I can sort of like make like a little canopy of air over my head so that doesn't ruin my hairdo when the rain comes down.
And how long can you keep that going for? All night? While you sleep?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to tie it off. I haven't tried yet. But that's a really good idea. I should do that tonight.
Not sure if tying off an airflow around your head while you go to sleep is the safest thing for a novice, but...
Not around my head. like just over, like a little canopy.
I hope it works that way.
I wish I had a word for something like this, but I don't.
Like a parasol?
Like a parasol. Yeah,
An aerosol?
like an aerosol.
Wait, that's an actual word. Fuck.
Like an air suspension thingy.
Right, so should we look for a place? We're on the road, we hear thunder. We should
Yes.
look for a place to camp that's reasonably dry, sheltered, not in a dry stream gully kind of thing.
Not under a large tree.
Good idea.
No, I want to keep going. We've got plenty of light. We can keep going.
Lance.
What do you want now?
Yeah, the weather that the Aes Sedai was talking about.
Yeah, that's supposed to be here in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's here. It's here now.
I'm gonna look up my perception. Do I see anything? Any clouds or anything?
It's overcast.
Oh, well, there goes that argument.
Now that it's pointed out, you can sort of hear the distant thunder.
All right. Quercus, you do a lot of traveling. Where's a good spot around here for us to set up camp?
Well, I think I passed this way on my way towards Dal Shirandu from Arafel. So I believe there was a rocky outcropping with a stone ledge about 2 miles off to the right-hand side of the road. I think that would be a good place for us to make for. But it'll take a half hour with this horse. It's not the quickest thing.
Well, I mean, it's either that or travel in the rain.
I'm gonna
So.
turn the horse the way he directed and let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so you begin making your way towards this rocky outcropping, and about 15 minutes in, the rain just starts, and it's gross, and the wind starts coming, and you're still following the road, but it's getting to be absolutely miserable, and the lightning arrives, and you can hear the thunder, and it's generally just not a pleasant experience at all. I need everybody to roll me a survival check.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
I don't know why you're grumbling. I'm perfectly content inside my little air thing.
Nat 1 for a 3.
Ooh.
Oh,
I got 21.
13.
Well, if you guys would stop annoying me, I wouldn't be in this condition right now.
Oh, it's our fault that you're easily annoyed?
I'm easily annoyed. We've been here for how many days?
About 4.
4 days! That's not easily annoyed. Maybe if you didn't have to bring a million pairs of shoes.
I like to be prepared.
Oy.
All right, so what did everybody get on their survival checks?
21.
13.
9.
3.
Okay, so with those survival checks, it's getting to be miserable, and you're not really able to focus. Pimer, on the other hand, is able to notice a large stand of trees off to the side of the road that would probably be good shelter, and it's right there, as opposed to going however much further to this rocky outcropping.
Okay, guys, what if we change plans and go right over there? What about that? That looks good.
What if there's lightning? We shouldn't camp under a tree if there's lightning. Isn't that dangerous?
I'll just channel it away. It'll be fine.
I'll just channel away lightning.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, it'll be fine. It's like, I'm so cold. I'm tall and skinny. I have no body fat. I'm freezing.
That's true.
Okay, so I tug the horse over to go towards the trees.
Okay, so you start going into the trees, and the space between the trees is enough where you can fit the horse. And you cross underneath the trees, and you feel like you almost come through like a wall. The storm building outside barely sounds like a light misty rain now.
Weird.
Both Pimer and Amena see it now that you've come through into the trees. There's a clearing, but all around you is this massive dome of the power. And you're able to look, it's so much being used that you're able to just look at it and tell that it was probably inverted and tied off.
What?
But this dome of the power is preventing any of the weather from getting in. So you cross into the clearing, and it's still overcast, but there is no rain. There is no wind. There is no lightning. It sounds like a light summer drizzle outside.
Did I do that on accident?
Don't think so. That's a lot of power to be channeling on accident.
I guess I would probably notice if I were channeling that much.
I think you would. Yeah. So like look around, Arcana check, something to see, like, is there someone here? Like, or a Terangrial or something?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay. Because, like, who is making this happen? That's an 8.
Okay, I'm going to do one too.
Okay, go for it.
16.
Okay, so you look around and you see stone fencing, you see small buildings, and you're like, this is a farm. And with a 16, you also see somebody, there's a field sort of in front of you and to the right. And there appears to be a large, dark-skinned man with his shirt off, wrestling an ox or something, which is tied to a rock. And he's pulling on it, and you can hear him cursing as it looks like they're trying to yank the rock out of the field.
This is very bizarre.
How old is this shirtless man?
Mid-years, probably, I mean, based on what you can tell, looks like 40s or 50s.
We should go talk to him and see if he knows anything about this wonderful weather dome.
Talk to who? I'm like trying to stomp water out of my boots.
Just follow my lead.
Okay.
So I just kind of like straighten up a little.
Okay, and I haven't seen the dude, but I'm noticing Amanda doing her little thing that she does when she's spotted a fresh target, and I'm looking around like, oh God, what?
Yeah, hey, plus 14. I'm getting ready. Let's do this.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And so I just kind of like slowly start walking over.
I'm gonna look back at Lance and kind of roll my eyes. Like, this is what I have to deal with.
If you look at the roll 20, you should see your characters.
Yes.
Hey, it actually works this time. In the top right corner.
Woot. Yes.
Really? I don't see anything.
And this is what you see.
Cool.
Oh. Okay. All right. I can see why we would walk up to this guy and talk to him. That makes sense. Okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna.
Hello.
And he's kind of he's not paying attention. He's wrestling with the ox, and you can hear like, bloody Eshin, stupid ox. And he kind of stands up for a second and stretches and grabs a jug of water that's by his feet and takes a big draft and sets it back down and rubs his face. And then he looks over. Oh, hello there.
Hi.
Who might you be?
I'm so sorry to bother you. My name is Amena, and my friends and I, we've kind of run into some weather here, but then we stumbled into the trees and suddenly it's gone. Do you know anything about that?
Oh, my name is Breakin. Ogier. I haven't seen an Ogier in a... Anyway, please come inside and tell us about this weather.
Oh, are you sure we're not bothering you?
Us?
Sure, it's okay.
Who's us?
It's totally fine. We haven't had visitors in a long time. And as he starts walking towards the farmhouse, he begins to call out, and he says, Sain, we have guests.
Don't sound so excited, dude.
I know, right? I mean, I'm working it. Could you be a little bit more excited, please?
From the front of the farmhouse emerges an older woman with sort of darker hair tied back, sort of farmy homespun. She's got like a dinner plate in her hand that she's rubbing with a cloth, and she goes, "Oh, visitors. Gosh, we haven't had visitors in so very long. Please, you must come in. Breakin, why didn't you invite them in already? Come inside. Come inside."
I'm getting a little freaked out by these people.
And she's not channeling
Can I roll
or anything?
Yeah.
Can I
Where's
roll
the channeling
insight to
coming
see if
from?
they're...
So let's handle these in order. Go ahead and roll insight. Who are you rolling insight on, and what are you after?
The crazy lady to see if she's trustworthy. Nat 20 for 22.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
She seems very trustworthy.
Oh.
And she is absolute, like, if she could be the literal embodiment of light, she would be. Her aura is super hardcore.
I'm just gonna start walking over then, waiting for player or partners, team group, people to take their turn.
I don't need to take a turn. I'm gonna trust Lance on this one.
Yes. Same.
I'm still very, very perplexed about where the channeling is coming from. Looking at every... Like, is the bull channeling? Like, how is this happening? But if Lance and Amena are walking forward, I'm going to stick with the group for sure.
Has either Paima or Amena mentioned to Lance and I what they're feeling, the channeling that they're feeling, or is this something that's just going on behind the scenes between you two?
I think with the whole, like, Lance just, like, them inviting us in and everything, I would maybe, like, mutter to you guys, like, you see the lack of rain? That's the power. I don't know who's providing the power, but the lack of rain is that's the power.
Yeah.
I should have been more clear. When she steps out, her aura is massive. Like,
Oh,
she is
okay.
apparently-
Oh, that's what you
She is
mean
apparently
by the aura.
Yes, she is apparently channeling an incredible amount of the power.
Oh, okay.
okay.
So when she comes out, she's that. Okay, she's powerful.
She's like, Kira Sedai doesn't have as much power as she does, I don't think.
Yeah, so now I'm really intrigued and probably throwing all caution to the wind, because what?
Yeah.
So she's actively channeling then. This isn't like a weave that's tied off.
Well, it is a weave that's tied off.
But she's also actively channeling.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna.
Wait a minute. What is she channeling, though? Is she compelling us?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Oh, that's a really, really good point.
That is a really good point.
Doesn't matter, I rolled a nat 20 and she's trustworthy.
Non-masters.
But we don't know.
Well, you would think that if you were under compulsion.
Yeah, and you can't. You haven't got the channeling.
The force.
I'm editing that out.
Force law.
Okay.
Your prerogative.
Copyright issues.
No, just nah.
No.
19.
Okay, so with a 19, it is not compulsion. She's got like weaves of air going.
All right.
Okay, and no other obvious effects of channeling other than the dome.
Nope. Mm-mm.
So we can't. Okay, so she's holding the power but not doing anything immediately. So is she holding the power or channeling? These are two different things.
She's not holding the power. She is actively channeling.
What is she doing?
Okay, so but we can't see what she's doing.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just looking around. I can't see what's going on, but clearly I know from Paima's reaction and Amena's reaction that something is up, and I'm just muttering interesting, and then thinking of the learning opportunity this presents, and I'm going to follow Lance into the house.
Okay.
I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound. Okay, we're going in.
So How do you walk into the house? Are you walking cautiously? Are you walking all as a group? Like,
She said that I could, or you said that I could trust her. I'm just kind of going.
Okay.
As I get to the door, I'm going to turn around and look and see that so far nobody's followed me. Guys, I want to sleep somewhere dry.
Okay. And I'm walking in, still spending half of my attention is on the sky. The other half is on the fact that this woman is channeling. I'm paying no attention to anything. I would trip over the smallest obstacle in my actual physical way. That's how I'm walking in.
okay.
Yeah, I've forgotten all about the dude. I'm so just in awe of this woman and her power. I want to know how she's doing what she's doing.
Okay. Are Quercus and Amena following into the house?
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the minute any of you walk into the house, Lance and Pimer would see this first. You almost trip over a broom that's right in the doorway, and then the broom just kind of scuttles on past you.
What?
It's very Disney.
It's very Fantasia,
Yeah.
Cinderella-ish.
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
So like the broom is sweeping the front steps by itself. There's dishes that are in the sink that are under a flow of water, but the pump is pumping by itself, and then the dish is kind of just rising up, and like she's snatching it and drying it and putting it away like without a second thought. Like it's just part of her normal routine to have parts of the house doing things for her.
What? This is amazing.
This is very cool.
And she turns around and she goes, please sit. I wasn't prepared for visitors, but I'm sure we can arrange, food. Are you hungry? Would you like something to drink? I don't have. And she kind of sits there for a second, and Brecken walks up and puts his hand on her shoulder, and it's all right, dear. Just take a moment to relax. We have everything we need. And she kind of sits there. Yes, we do, of course. I am so sorry. Welcome to our home. I will get you something to drink. Do you want water? I have some wine, probably.
Water's fine.
I'd like some wine.
Perfect. And she kind of she holds her hand out, and you watch as a cup stacked near the sink lifts up, flips over, goes under the pump, and comes back and just kind of drifts into her hand, and she just hands it off like it's no big deal. Please sit. Snacks, anything? Wine, you wanted the wine. And Brecken again goes, I'll get the wine, dear. Just sit down. And he goes and he gets the wine out of the closet, and, red or white, young lady?
Red, please.
And he'll pour you a glass and he'll kind of bring it over. So, what brings you to our neck of the woods?
What is this neck of the woods?
It's our own special place. We enjoy our privacy.
I've never heard of anyone out here this way.
Well, we prefer it that way.
Okay. I assume the broom is powered by the power.
And Brecken's eyes kind of flash up, like he hadn't realized that you could channel.
Well, I'm just pointing out the broom is moving by itself.
And he goes, no, there's no use of the one power here. And Saeen's like, no, that's just what brooms do. Your brooms don't do that. You must return them. They might be defective brooms.
Okay, I'm going to sip my water and be very much hoping Amena takes the lead, because this is clearly peopling beyond my skills.
So how long have you been out here in this amazing place? It's so pretty and so tidy. You keep your home so tidy.
I enjoy a clean home, and we've been here for. And she kind of starts getting nervous and agitated. And Brecken again kind of looks at her and just starts rubbing her back. We've only been here for a few years. We are just quiet folk. We like to keep to ourselves.
Can I roll an Arcana check on that, because I've noticed this is from the description or from the view that we have on our map on Roll20. There's lots of stonework around the enclosure of the house, and I could tell roughly, give or take 20-30 years, how long this structure's existed by the types of lichens on the outside.
Go ahead and roll me a history check, but we'll do it with advantage because you're long-lived and you would know this sort of thing.
Okay. History 20.
You are incredibly confused.
In what way?
Based on what you've seen, this structure is at least a century old.
Okay.
But it looks brand new-ish. Like, it looks well lived in, but from the moss formations that you're seeing when you walked in and just kind of the way the stonework has settled and even the construction of the farmhouse, it looks old.
Okay, so I'm just going to try and make eye contact with one of the others when they say that they've not lived here long and just give a little shake of my head.
Okay. Yeah, you and I are both like, what? Something's not adding up. Does the water taste weird?
No, it actually tastes really good.
Okay.
The wine does too. I'm feeling much more relaxed.
This is awkward.
And they're both, like, she is actively, like, trying to engage with you. He is staring. Like, now that you've mentioned the power, his eyes are definitely darting back and forth between the two of you, and he's, like, reassessing you.
I wonder if they're hiding from the tower.
They're hiding from something, but I'm gonna ask, where did you come from before? The rattle of keys is not a comforting answer.
No, it's not.
He says, "Oh, I stayed with Sain in Tarvalin, but we moved out here for the air."
For the air, yeah, that totally makes sense.
Can I get Amena and Pimer to do history checks?
Hoping I paid attention for that lesson in the tower. 14.
8.
Pimer, he's mentioned her name several times, and it's stewing in the back of your head. And then as he says it again, a light bulb goes off.
What are light bulbs?
A glow bulb goes off.
Sorry.
Sain. Terrasind. Sain Terrasind, known in the Third Age as Masana.
And that is where we close the book for now. Come join us next time on Just Roll With It.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Are you enjoying Just Roll With It? Do you want to keep up with all of the shenanigans and updates and maybe interact with us online? Follow us on Twitter at @just_roll or Instagram at @justrowlwithitpodcast with underscores between each word. Are you interested in maybe earning cool gaming dice or other awesome perks? Our Patreon is patreon.com/JRWI. We use Sirenscape for all of our sound effects and are a production of Fox and Raven Media. And that's where we're going to leave it for right now.
What?
Come on! Oh, you suck!
You son of a... What?
What the fuck? Are you serious?
I quit the game.
Oh my god, you're Masada?
Oh my god.
You're the worst!
Tops all the other cliffhangers combined. I swear to God. Oh.
And the fact that you guys did, or that Radia didn't catch it at first.
Uh-oh.